Alright, so now that I have my arms stuffed and my legs stuffed, I'm going to go ahead and sew my arms shut first before adding in my little joint stitches. And just I always double check to make sure that I have both sides evenly stuffed as much as I can as possible here. And I'm going to make sure, like I said, that you don't want the rough edge on the outside. You want to make sure that you kind of tuck that in whenever you suture up that arm and all the limbs really. And then I also made sure that I kind of like squeezed in where I wanted the joints to be, so after I add that joint stitch that, you know, the hands are able, you know, to bend up, you know. So I'm making sure that I like kind of wiggle the material, and the same thing between the elbow. This opening was a little bit further down on this arm than it was on the other, so my joint stitch is actually going to be right here, so that's why I'm closing it up first. My joint stitch on this baby is going to be right above that elbow line, so you can see where this notch is here. That's the elbow, so I'll put that stitch right about here so we have that bend, and you can still have that little point where the elbow would be. So I'm going to go ahead and suture those openings still up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually using the suture needle. I like using the bent needles, especially when working on a smaller area, only because it's easier to get it to come back around. There I have my knot at the end. Go ahead and trim off the rest of that. And I'm going to start on the inside of where the elbow is and work my way up to the back of the arm. And it is a ladder stitch. And I'm going to show you the picture that they do, Reggie provides in her brochure. Okay, so it's a very simple stitch. So I'm going to begin inside of the fabric because I don't want to be able to see that knot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. And then I will go over for the first stitch over onto the other side. I'll pull it through on that side. Then I'm going to come up on that same side, again making sure that that material is folded down just a little bit. So I'm going to come in on that raw edge and come up. And pull that through, making sure that my string doesn't tangle. And as I pull that, notice it's going to pull the rest of that area nice and tight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that quickly without taping, so I can hurry up the video a little bit.